Today I'm going to show you how just one coil can stop your engine from starting, or it may start and then shut off. Now, number one on our pin, if you'll look at this, number one is battery voltage. That's with your ignition switch on. You're going to put it on a 20-volt scale, and you're going to come from the ground side of the battery and to number one pin, and you should have the same voltage you do in your battery. Let's look at this wiring diagram. Comes from our battery through our FL main fuse and goes over to our ignition pin 5. As well, it's going to continue feeding power through our IG2 fuse up to pin 5 on our relay. We also, in order to close this relay, we're going to need a ground. So we're going to have a ground coming here. Providing we have good ground, we're going to turn our ignition switch on, and it's going to supply power to pin 1 on our IG2 relay. Once it closes, it'll close this and continue the power feed through injector number 1, coming to each individual coil. So if you don't have power to pin 1, you need to check the IG2 fuse, the start fuse, the main fuse, and injector 1 fuse. We know the engine started, so we can eliminate our main fuse, our start fuse, because it did crank and it actually ran, so we can eliminate all this, even this, because it started and tried to run, so our injector actually fired as well. So all this is good. Just by diagnosing and going through your process, you'll see that before you condemn anything. All right, let's look at number 1. That's battery voltage. It's coming from a fuse, and if you look, they're all sharing that in common. They all have the same fuse, and just by that trying to start, the engine started running for a split second, that tells me that that circuit is good. You can't fire any coils or attempt to start without battery voltage. Now, number 2 is our IGF, which is signal return to the ECM. 3 is going to be our trigger. Now, that's coming from the ECM to the coil to tell it to trigger, energize the coil. Are all individuals, so it should not be any of these. So unless you have a rat damage or something like that. And then number 4 is ground. And in order to test number 4, you got to make sure that you've got your ground cable disconnected, and then you'll just run an ohms test. Now, if you'll notice here, number 4 has the same thing in common on every coil. Now, this could possibly be that we have no ground to all coils, but the engine started and ran for just a second, so that is eliminated. If you have 3 TVs and you get bad reception on all 3, you're not going to replace all 3 TVs. You're going to say, why am I not getting a good reception? You've got 6 coils. All 6 coils are not going to go bad, so we want to look and see what's common with all 6 coils. Now, because it did start and attempt to run, that tells us we've got a good battery voltage, we've got a good ground, and all our triggers are working. That just leaves us with our signal return from our coil. Here's what happens. The ECM will send a trigger signal to the igniter. Then the igniter will send a confirmation signal back that it fired that coil. The problem is, if any one of these coils are bad, it will block that signal from returning back to the IGF-1. Does that make sense? Now, the ECM gets a signal from the various sensors to let them know that the engine is being commanded to start, or it's being cranked. It'll send a signal out to a corresponding coil to fire the igniter. Now, through this process, it's ignoring IGF. Don't care anything about it. Nope. We just want to get the engine running. Once the various sensors detect that the engine should be running, then it looks for IGF. If it doesn't see IGF, that coil corresponding injector will be turned off. And what happens in this case, it didn't get a return from any of these, resulting in an engine shutdown. It turns all our injectors off. Does that make sense? And this is why you get an engine to start and then it shuts right back off. Now, it will not turn these injectors back on until you cycle the key again. So if you repeat trying to start it without turning the ignition switch off, then these injectors will stay off and it'll sound like it's a bad fuel pump, like it wants to start. So what you need to do is turn your ignition switch off and then back on. That'll reset everything and it'll attempt it again. Does that make sense? Fuel, computer. This car has a code for every coil misfiring. Well, it started so you know the coils are working. Well, maybe it's fuel and it's really the ECM because you've got 6 coils and you'll never see all 6 coils go bad. It matters not whether you've got the signal wire. We're doing a ohms test. It matters not which coil you put this on. They all are spliced together. Now you'll want to run a continuity test between this and the ECM. I checked that. Check this good. Now I'm going to come over to the positive side and I want to see if I've got any voltage. We got 11.39 volts, and what you'll do then is you'll start with each plug and unplug it and see if it changes. I'm not going to take you through all that. I found which one it was. Of course, it was going to be the hardest one to get to, but it's because of the place it's in, you got to pull the intake and everything. This number 1 coil, so I'll need to unplug it. Now look at our voltage. I'm going to leave that unplugged for now, and we should be able to plug them all back in and not get a voltage. Only one we got unplugged is number 1. We can take and back probe our IGF signal wire till it's 0. We're going to plug number 1 coil back in. Only coil that's not plugged in now. 11 volts. So that proves that's our bad coil. Here's our test with the new coil plugged in. If you get any value out of this, please hit like and subscribe, and we'll move on to some more videos. If you've got any questions, drop me a comment. Now we're going to do it flat rate style. Now if you've got a 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, or 8-cylinder Toyota, it all works the same. Here's what I want you to do. You're going to unplug 1 coil at a time. Try to start it. If it starts and runs, you know you've got the bad coil. Now like on this V6, where you have to pull the intake, I'll do the front 3 as with this one. That's what I done is I swapped out. I pulled 1 coil off, tried to crank it, plugged it back in, and done the 2nd one and the 3rd one, and it still didn't start. So that's when I started running these tests. I'm James Noble. Thank you for watching.